What will I do after Jira DC? Well, this question and similar questions were asked recently, and I thought I'll record a video and elaborate a bit more. Of course, with end of life Jira Data Center, we will have a lot to talk about. Now, when we talk about Jira Data Center and the recent updates from Atlassian, everyone is talking about end of life, what companies should do. Everyone is talking about moving to Jira Cloud because there is no other option. But not many people, or I don't think anyone is talking about people or Atlassian admins, Atlassian consultants, people who are actually dependent and rely and use Jira DC for their job. And it will be, or it could be a bit difficult for them. And I think we have 3 years, we have time, and we can always plan, but there will be an impact. So if you are a Jira admin on DC, on data center, or in fact, if you are a DC admin, it could be Confluence as well, right? Then you should definitely act now. Now, talking about the first question that someone asked me, Ravi, what will you do after Jira DC? So this question was asked on my channel, and for me, I will most likely be doing what I'm doing right now. In case you don't know, I run a company called Sparksys. We provide consultancy services around Atlassian tools, and we have been doing it for many years now. Of course, after Jira Data Center, things will be different for us, but we were preparing for it. In fact, when Jira Cloud came out, I think it was a bit different back then. Jira Cloud was on-demand Jira. Then, of course, we had Jira Cloud. Jira Cloud then became like a separate product, right? And Jira Cloud has been a different product. It has been many years now. So we have been doing stuff on Jira Cloud. So Jira Cloud is not really new for us. We, of course, prefer doing things on Jira Data Center, because on Jira Data Center, especially if we talk about me, my experience, or people like me, we were doing stuff on the server. We do things like script runner. We have been playing with Jira, helping our clients, and it was fun. So it will be, of course, a bit different when there is no Jira Data Center. So we will definitely I will miss Jira Data Center a lot, but I will still be doing stuff on Jira. That is what I think should happen as per the plan. So we are not really changing anything. So we were always doing stuff on Jira Cloud. And Jira Cloud is, of course, a bit frustrating to work with as compared to Jira Data Center, because the level of customizations, different use cases, different problems that you can solve on Jira Data Center, it is not the same. But of course, Jira Cloud is evolving. Jira Cloud is getting a lot of features, and the way you customize Jira Cloud is not totally different. Now we have Forge, Atlassian Forge, which is, of course, the platform, the recommended platform, which you can use. And we have been playing with Forge since the beginning. If you go to my channel, you will probably find a video on Forge. I think I made like maybe 7 or 8 videos on Forge when it first came out. It was, of course, not that good back then. Even right now, Atlassian Forge is not really great. I think it will reach there in the next few years, but it is still okay. I think you can't really do each and everything that you are able to do on Jira Data Center. But I'm sure Jira Cloud with Forge and, of course, new capabilities in Forge will definitely be not bad. So we were doing stuff on Jira Cloud. We started looking at evaluating Forge as well. We have a couple of apps published. We have a lot of work that we do internally on Jira using Forge. And of course, we will continue to do the same thing. I know it will be a bit different. We will miss it, but that is my answer. We will just miss Jira Data Center, and we will miss it badly. But work-wise, in our company, because we are consultants, we will continue to provide our consultancy services. Of course, it will be different, and I think I elaborated on a bit more on what you should do as a Jira Data Center admin. But in this video, I just want to answer one more or three more questions. So the first question is, it was asked by someone recently. Do you have any advice for someone like me on how, and when this person is asking me that this person is basically from Jira Data Center background. So the question is, should I keep using Jira Data Center skills in the next few years and find a job in this way? Well, the thing is, and I think I mentioned this in my recent videos, I think Jira Data Center skills are not really going to go away straight away. Of course, after 3 years, when there is no Jira Data Center, then of course these skills will not be used, unfortunately. But right now, companies are still using Jira Data Center. Of course, most of the companies will move to Jira Cloud because there is no other real alternative of Jira. But till then, your skills will be needed. So if you are someone who is doing stuff on Jira Data Center, you're upgrading Jira, you are working on a script runner, you're maintaining the servers, then of course you can continue using it. But of course you have to plan. You have to figure out what next. The next question by the same person is, prepare for a change after 2029 in the Atlassian ecosystem or somewhere else. Now, I would say if you're already invested in Atlassian ecosystem, then you should continue learning and find a job, or maybe within your company, just switch to Jira Cloud. But of course, that switch will not happen right now. Of course, right now, what you can do is you can learn about Jira and of course other Atlassian products. On cloud, of course, you have of course Jira Cloud, you have Confluence, you have Bitbucket, you have Trello, you have JPD, and you have JSM, and then of course those other Atlassian tools like Guard and many more. So keep on exploring, learning those other tools, but at the same time, and this is what I always say, I think you should always have one or two additional skills, and you never really know when those additional skills will become your primary skill. Jira was at one stage not even my secondary or like third or fourth skill. It was basically something that I knew, or basically something I learned, and then I continued doing stuff on Jira along with few other things. And one day, or not really one day, but then came a point where I thought, okay, let us just push Jira a bit more. So I think talking about other ecosystems, I would say ecosystems or tools or stuff that people do along with Jira, you should keep an eye and try to pick a couple of them. For example, maybe, and again, it depends on your background. If you're a developer, if you are a project manager, if you are a Jira admin, if you are someone who is not really into tech or technology a lot, but you still want to do stuff with Jira, maybe as a consultant, maybe as a project manager or product manager, but you are really good in Jira. So you can look at other ecosystems like Slack. I know Slack, not many people talk about it, but at least in our ecosystem, when I say our ecosystem, I'm talking about Atlassian or Jira, but you can look at Slack. Slack is, of course, the recommended tool from Atlassian when it comes to integrating Jira with, or using Jira with chat-based solutions. So you can look at Slack, you can probably look at Microsoft, but not really each and everything that Microsoft is doing, but maybe Teams, maybe a few other things like SharePoint, I don't know, maybe. I mean, SharePoint is not really going, it's not going anywhere. Then you can also maybe look at some middlewares, because in big companies, they of course use middlewares to connect different tools together. So Jira is always there, but what you can do with Jira and other tools together. You can probably look at some reporting tools. Of course, I mentioned like Microsoft, but you can look at Power BI. You can look at similar tools that is being used in the industry. And you can look at, if you want to go into the tech side of things, maybe you can look at GitLab or GitHub, and maybe a bit into DevOps, right? So it really depends on your current experience, what you want to do. But I would say it is a bit, if it is getting a bit more difficult for you to decide, just stick to Jira and of course, start learning Jira Cloud. But at the same time, also look at a couple of other tools, or just try, give it a try. And you have 3 years. I think in 3 years you can do a lot. And of course, you don't have to wait for 3 years. Whatever you know already, maybe along with Jira in your company, if you're doing stuff on some other existing tools, then maybe just dive a bit more into it. If you are into some other tools that are already popular in the industry, but you just know the basics, maybe dive more into it. Maybe you can look at ServiceNow, right? ServiceNow is a very popular tool. And usually, and again, I can tell you from my experience, if you go to any big bank, they are using Jira, but they're also using ServiceNow. They're also using Microsoft. They're also using some data lake. They're also using Power BI. So there are so many things that you can do along with Jira. And of course, when I say along with Jira, I'm talking about other tools, other technologies, or other processes that are not too different from what you are already doing. Of course, it is an extension. Jira is not really the tool for each and everything. When it comes to Jira, people use Jira primarily to deliver and plan their work, right? But when it comes to some other processes, they of course need to use and rely on other tools that will work very closely with Jira. So that is what I would say. In the next 3 years, starting from now, and I mean now, you should definitely start evaluating and looking into these things. The third question, which is a bit interesting, the third question is that should I push myself to learn Jira Cloud even though if I don't enjoy it? So I think if you're already doing stuff on Jira Data Center, then I don't really think you will hate Jira Cloud. Hate is a strong word, but when you're asking that what if I don't enjoy working on Jira Cloud? Should I continue learning it? I find it hard to believe. If you're already doing stuff on Jira Cloud is of course not Jira Data Center, but I don't think you will hate it. Just give it a try and embrace the changes. It will not be easy, but there are ways that you can achieve, if not each and everything, but a lot. You can of course use Jira Cloud automations. You can look into Forge app development if you want to get into the development side of things. Learn REST API, learn Forge, learn Jira Cloud automations, learn about different apps, popular apps that are there on Jira Cloud. And I'm sure you will love it. If not love it, I'm sure you will not hate it. So this is what I think I can suggest and recommend. I made a video recently on this topic, but in this video, I just wanted to focus on these few questions because sometimes the answer is same, but the question can be different, and you have to talk about these different questions that people ask. That is all I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new today. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.